What's up, y'all? Chris, post-fight thoughts on last night's Mayhem pay-per-view card. First off, for those that ordered it, paid to order it, my condolences to your money and time and investment, unless you did enjoy it overall. But, you know, to each their own. But I feel for you if you did and you felt like you didn't get your money's worth because, I don't know, wasn't the best pay-per-view to say the least. Anyway, as far as the undercard real quick, the Humberto Soto-John Molina fight probably was the best fight of the night as expected. A lot of low blows in there. Jay Nady, not the best, not my favorite referee. I'll just say that, and didn't have his best performance in there. But whatever. I was surprised how easily Soto manhandled Molina. Molina's got terrible defense, but good win for Soto, even though he's well past his best, but he still got a good win. Alfredo Angulo, one of my favorite fighters in the sport. Still not a bandwagon fan. I'll stick with you if I'm a fan, but man, I know he rallied late. You know, the 11th to 12th or 11th to 12th rounds. Rallied late. It was 11th, 12th, or 9th, 10th. Either way, he rallied late and almost pulled off the win by stoppage. But unfortunately, it's about time to put this dog's career to rest. To say his best days are behind him would be an understatement. He just shouldn't be in there taking punishment. I don't blame the ref for threatening to stop it, and I give full credit to El Perro for coming on strong late. But I just don't want to be seeing him taking any more damage because it's definitely detrimental to his long-term health. Miguel Vasquez, Mickey Bay, didn't watch it. Heard it was a terrible fight. Heard it was a bad decision. I'd have to take the word of everyone else that I heard because, like I said, didn't watch it. Don't really care. Was surprised Bay on the one scorecard, though, was that wide just based on what I've heard. Leo Santa Cruz, none of my favorite fighters in the sport, but, man, signed with Al Heyman. I guess these are the kind of matchups you get. Easy second round knockout. Not really much else to say about it. As for the main event, Floyd Mayweather versus Marco Maidana 2. Couple things that surprised me early on about this fight. Maidana didn't bum rush Floyd like he did in the first fight for the first couple of rounds. Kind of laid back. Didn't really know if that was because he was trying to save his stamina or, cardio for the latter half of the fight. But it was interesting. It was just interesting. He didn't go at him like he thought he would in the early half of the first fight. Finally did get things going. But unfortunately, as expected, maybe not to the degree, Kenny Bayless played a big part in how this fight played out. A lot of times, not every time, but a lot of times when Maidana got close on the inside, Floyd grabbed him, held him, and Bayless immediately broke them up, gave Floyd the room he needed to separate, to get back on his game, box from a distance, and get the movement to keep Maidana off of him. Now, I want to say this off the top. I don't think that Floyd Mayweather won this fight because Kenny Bayless was the referee. But I do think that Kenny Bayless made this fight not as entertaining as it could have been. I think if Bayless would have been so quick to break the holding situations, then maybe we would have had a little more action on the inside, a little bit more less. I wouldn't say it was a one-sided fight, but would have had more moments that would have been more possibly threatening. And I'm not saying you need to do things to help the opponent, Maidana in this case, but just give the fighters a chance to fight on the inside or to work out of it themselves. You don't have to separate them every single time they tie up. Of course, there were times when Maidana was able to pin Floyd against the rope, pin his back against the ropes, and kind of tee off on him, or at least attempt to, like he did in the first fight. But I don't think he had as much success, even when he did do that at those moments, as he did in the first fight. He did catch Floyd clean at the end of the third round. The very, very, very last punch of the third round, right before the bell rang, or right as the bell rang, caught Floyd flush. Probably the best punch Floyd has been caught with since the Shane Mosley fight. And I don't know, it looked like it might have stunned Floyd, but of course, we'll never know for sure because the round ended, and by the time the fourth round started, Floyd was completely fine. So, can't really say he was hurt that bad if he was hurt. Unfortunately for Maidana, that was probably his big moment in the fight, and he wasn't able to capitalize on it because of the time that it happened at. As for the rest of the fight, without going into rounds specifically, Floyd pretty much controlled it for the most part. Once again, like I said earlier, Bayless did play a big part in it. It just wasn't really a very entertaining fight. It definitely wasn't the first fight, and you got to give Floyd credit for that. He made more adjustments and improved more in the rematch than Maidana did. But like I said, Kenny Bayless just pretty much, he just initiated too much, put himself too much in the fight, and it really just took myself, and it seemed like from what I read, At least I saw on Twitter when I was reading along with it in between rounds. A lot of other people out of it, particularly after the fight. Guess two other things to mention. The 8th round, the bite. I don't know. It did look like Floyd was kind of covering his mouth. If Maidana did in fact bite him or bite the glove, how far could he have really gotten? I mean, with the mouthpiece in, biting the glove, I doubt he could have really hurt Floyd's hand to the point where it was numb and he couldn't use it for the latter 4 or 5 rounds. As Floyd said after the fight, I don't know. I'm not calling the guy a liar, but I just don't see how Maidana could have bit through it that bad unless he has like some vampire fangs or something. And of course, the 12th round, Floyd decided to just coast, pretty much ran circles around the ring, pulled a Arizona de Lara, and kind of, I know he had the fight in the bag, but Floyd's not usually the type of fighter where he's just going to completely coast the 12th round. But for one reason or another, he decided to do that here, and it kind of made it for an anticlimactic and for the most part, an uneventful fight, at least compared to the first one. But, credit to Floyd Mayweather, continued the undefeated streak, decisively beat Maidana for the most part in this fight, in my opinion, from what I saw. And no credit to Kenny Bayless. Just, in my opinion, not a terrible job, but just over-officiated this fight. And, kind of, I don't want to say spoiled the night, but, didn't help things out, that's for sure. Anyways, want to hear your guys' thoughts on this fight. If you have any left, if you didn't comment too much elsewhere. But thoughts on, the pay-per-view overall. What do you think about the card? Did you think it was as bad as I thought it was? I'm not saying it was the worst card ever, but like I said, I don't think it was worth the money that people might have paid for it. And, of course, any of the fights or fighters on it, and most importantly, the main event. Thoughts on that, thoughts on Mayweather, Maidana, Kenny Bayless' performance. And what do you think's next for Floyd? Is it going to be Amir Khan? Is it going to be Danny Garcia? It's not going to be Manny Pacquiao. I have no idea why people keep bringing this up to Floyd Mayweather, whether it's Jim Gray, whether it's other people interviewing him. Why do people bother? Not going to happen. Didn't happen in the past. Not going to happen in the future. Never going to happen. Never thought it would. Never do think it will. So drop it. Not going to happen. Ever, in my opinion. Could be wrong. Doubt it. Anyways, that's it for now. Link to Twitter and information over there as always. Till next time, I'm out.